Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. How you just in the picture of you? I'm not at 10K yet though.
Who know who had 10K?
I'm not at 10K yet
On where?
on my steps.
Oh, I'm only at 4,227 because I just swam.
Well, that's a good workout though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm at 9,618.
Nice.
So I'm trying to, but I'm skipping no extra workout today. I'm too beat. Too
You'd be
beat.
like that.
Hmm.
I worked out twice at 6 a.m. and then I got back an hour and a half ago.
Yeah, no. I was gonna do two. I did. Um, I did a little something something at work today for half an hour,
I'm on a
but
little something during the
it
lunch
was
period.
near my lunch break. Yeah, I split my lunch break now, so I do
You get
30
an
minutes.
hour?
No, so I'll split it where I'll do 30 minutes, allow myself to eat, and then I'll do physical activity afterwards.
So you get an hour of lunch.
Oh, do I get an hour lunch break? Yeah,
Damn.
I know
That's
most people
crazy.
only get half an hour.
Most people get a half an hour. How does
Yeah, I
feel
get
be
an
one
hour.
of God's chosen ones?
Mm, that's when I do take a lunch break.
Yeah, I often worked through my lunch hour.
Yeah, I need to
Uh,
stop that.
oh, I mean, no job now, but you know,
Oh, Bree.
it's okay.
I mean, I know that, but like, let's stop talking about work. Anyway, hello everyone. I hope everyone is doing well. Welcome to our live show. Um, you can leave reaction emojis. What is that? What are reaction emojis?
Oh, I don't know. I'm trying to
I don't
find.
know what that is, Scarlett.
I thought I wrote in my notes about. Oh, I'm about to cry. No. Okay, I found my notes.
Your notes. Okay. All right, y'all. So we're gonna limit this live show. No, I didn't see any hearts floating up. um, we're going to limit this live show. Um, we're gonna try to keep it at half an hour. Um, I know we usually go longer than that. However, we both do not have the spoons this evening.
The spoon's left.
So this week we are talking about. Damn, where did I put the other book? Anyway, we're talking about the New Kid trilogy. What is three books right now? I don't know where my second book is, but oh, jeez. Okay, New Kid, Class Act, and the newest one, which is School Trip, all by Jerry Craft, who had been writing and doing um, some illustration, some artwork prior to um, New Kid, but he really hit it off with New Kid. New Kid, I believe, won Newbery. Oh, I can't remember if it won the Caldecott, but I feel like it won the Newbery and the Caldecott. No, it won the Newbery and Coretta Scott King Award. Okay, so it is a pretty highly regarded middle grade graphic novel series.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it's hard to keep on the shelves. People
Mm-hmm.
love it. It's well written. It is also heavily challenged because a lot of people feel like, especially with New Kid, that Jerry Craft has been teaching critical race theory with with his graphic novel series, which whatever. Um, so let's start with ratings. what did everybody rate? I mean, you could rate each book individually, or if you want to give an overall rating for the entire um, set of books. I don't know if he's going to do more in the series or not, or if he's going to explore doing something different in the future. So right now I'm calling it a trilogy, but he could do more installments. I mean, it's definitely a moneymaker. So I would not be surprised if his agents and the publisher want him to do more.
That's a good question that you asked about ratings. And this is probably like the first time in my reading life that I never thought about a rating. I was just reading and enjoying
Just enjoying it.
So sorry. I got that.
No, it's fine. It's fine. It's a 5-star series for me.
Three of them?
Huh?
For all three?
All three of them.
Okay.
I think they're different.
That's solid.
They're unique in their own ways, and I feel like each one of them successfully tackles the topics that J.R. Craft kind of like outlines in each one. So it's an easy 5 stars for me. It was my second time reading New Kid and my first time reading Class Act, and of course, School Trip literally just came out in April. So yeah. Look, Kathleen, y'all sitting here trying to figure out how to get these reaction emojis in the
I
chat.
think you can only see them when you are in YouTube, not in
Okay, yeah, but say because we can't see them in StreamYard.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me scroll back up so I can get some more of the ratings really quick, y'all. All right, Marissa, 5 stars for New Kid, 5 stars for Class Act, 3 stars for I'm interested to see why you didn't enjoy School Trip as much. Scarlett, 5.5. Okay. Kathleen said 5-star series. Class Act was your favorite of the 3. 4.5 for Class Act. Okay. Jessica gave all 3 5 stars. And Christine, 5 stars. Oh, I'm glad. I'm glad.
So happy of the people who are enjoying this book club.
Yeah, that are getting exposed to things.
Yeah. Can y'all try the hearts again? I put it on my TV. Let me see if I can see them. I'm fighting with my hair, clearly.
It looks great.
Well, whatever. I'm trying to see.
Can you see anything?
I was gonna try, because I've done those hearts and I never knew if people can see them because no one.
Jessica said she doesn't see them on her Apple TV. Okay. And it was a form of New Kid interspersed with the story of the comic. You mean for School Trip?
The preachy parts felt very much a part of Black culture. But I hear what you're saying. There were moments of preachiness.
I think to School Trip. I think to what you see, because I know what you're speaking about. Like in Class Act, in School Trip, he would do stuff like this, like those sections where he was coming in. But the reason why it didn't bother me is because I think that the context and he probably had a lot of feelings when he was writing this one, because he's coming off of a lot of challenging and banning in regards to New Kid. And so I was not surprised to see him kind of insert that dialogue in that format that way. And a lot of it is more, I think, as adults, I think we always have to provide context. As adults, it's so in our face because we are already hyper aware. Whereas I'm not saying that a middle grade reader is not intuitive, but sometimes they need a little bit more of a hand holding situation to understand complex themes like systemic racism.
Yeah.
Um, and so we're as an adult reading it, it is very like, okay, I know that, but it's not intended for adults. And so whenever I read stuff where I know I'm not the target audience, I often remove how I would perceive it as an adult and think about it from the perspective of if a middle grade student was reading this, and like Kathleen said, non-black middle school student reading this, it would have to be kind of in your face and preachy because they may not understand. Um,
Hmm.
and even there are adults who still
So
don't
many
get it.
adults.
And honestly, I'm gonna keep it 100. It's hard to grasp if you're not black. Like there's a lot that's included in School Trip that you can
The
see it,
nuances were.
you're not gonna 100% kind of grab it sometimes too. And it's not meant to be like, it's not meant to be in an asshole-ish way, but there's just some aspects of culture that you're not going to get if you're not a part of that culture. Doesn't matter how much you read, doesn't matter how much you talk to people, it's that lived experience that sometimes you'll just never understand because you're not living it. So
Yeah.
um I understand where you're coming from. I just think it didn't bother me as much as I would have anticipated because of what he's been going through.
Hmm.
um he had a whole school visit. He was supposed to go speak to kids. And a parent was pissed that he was coming to the school and said that he was there to brainwash the kids into critical race theory. And
I'm not surprised.
the school canceled his trip. They canceled his speaking engagement. So he's angry, and rightfully so. And so to see some of the stuff that he was saying in School Trip is definitely coming off of a fuck you.
Ah, okay. That makes sense how the tone
Yeah.
changed a little
It's
bit.
yeah, the tone changed very much, and I
Yeah.
felt like a lot of it because he's caught a lot of flack the past couple of years. He's caught hell for New Kid, and to win the Newbery is the ultimate honor, and the disrespect that he's been getting as someone who was you know a very highly acclaimed at this point author. What
Mhm.
he's been accused of doing, I think that parts of School Trip was a fuck you to the adults who were going to read it who have a problem with him. And so
Oh
that
yeah.
tone did change a little bit, and I felt a little bit of his anger in there, but I felt like his anger was warranted.
Yeah.
It's
Cause
fine.
this because the second one was definitely felt to me as if the onus was placed on caregivers and
Yes.
like teachers and how they interact with young black people. Um,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, and unfortunately, I can't say there was an experience in the books that these children has had that I personally have not had. Like even to this day, um, there I had. Sorry,
It's okay.
a little story. I have a friend named Anita. She is Kenyan. She's like she's darker than me. She's probably 5'2", and she's really skinny. If you meet me, I am not short. I am tall and I'm plus size, and I've been like this probably in my adult life.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and every time we would walk around campus, we would laugh because we went to a PWI. Because I would be like, "How many times did they call you Bree?" She would be like, "How many times did they call you Anita?" Like we do not look alike.
Nothing about you looks
And
like.
like teachers would be like, "Hey, Anita." I'm like, "Oh, Bree, sorry." Like all the time. Even in the
Yeah.
workplace, like I recently the job that I quit, I had to constantly remind my supervisor that my name was,
Yeah.
my name and not Brianna often. I'm like, who the fuck is Brianna?
But how? But
So
how? But I'm confused about
as a
how.
full adult, you still have to do,
Yeah,
or like
yeah.
people, oh Sarah, oh no, oh Maria. I'm like, how did you get Maria from my name? So it's just like just experiencing those daily nuances of um, white folks showing you and telling you that you
Hmm.
are not worth remembering will chip away on your ass.
And
And
your
I felt that
confidence.
throughout the books. And being
Yes.
like, do I tell my mom? Do I not tell my mom? Do I tell my dad? Like, what do I say? They're like, keep going. Even the parents had two different ways of approaching what the kid
Oh
was.
yeah, his mom and his dad. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah.
I feel torn. I'm not gonna lie. I felt as a parent, I felt very seen when reading New Kid because that's an internal conversation that I have with myself all the time.
Mm.
Like, you know, his mom is very much so like, okay, well, this is the way of the world. He has to get used to it. But then I'm also internally like the dad where it's like, no, you know, my child got to be amongst her people. So it's just kind of like it I think for a lot of black parents, I can't say all, but I think for a lot of black parents, there is that internal confusion where do you prioritize culture or do you and it's sad that you have to think about it that way. Do you prioritize black culture or you prioritize like what is the best education in a lot of places that is going to a predominantly white school?
Because
And it's
there's always
unfortunate.
going to be something that you have to sacrifice in those decisions.
Yeah.
So it's like,
Yeah.
what do you sacrifice? I
Yes.
I don't know. I can only imagine how that feels as a parent being like, I don't want to traumatize my kid. I don't want my kid to be like, my mom put me in this school and I'm fucked up. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? So it's like how do you like as an auntie to my and a godmom, my godson reminds me that I'm also his mom. I do not
Mhm.
get a chance to skirt past that. But he will do something and I'll be like, Jackson, you can't do that. And he's like, why can't I do it? I said, you a black biracial kid. I'm sorry. That's not
Yeah,
for
you can't
you.
do that. Yeah.
That's not for you. And he gets upset and I'm like, I know you're upset. Big feelings, bro. I get it. But as
Yeah.
your godmom, I have to protect you. And that even means protecting you on something you think that I'm trying to stop you from doing because it's so cool. But
Yeah.
that coolness gonna get you shot. So
It's tough. It
sorry,
is tough.
kid,
It is tough.
you know.
Norma? How they get Norma out of Nora?
People ain't looking at shit.
At
And
all. Don't care
yeah,
to.
they don't care to. And there's been times like something so little like a McDonald's when or anywhere when I like say my full name and they be Bianca, Brianna, and I'm like say my real name and then they're like, okay, well, what order did you get? Like they don't even care to correct it, which is why I just go by Bree because even though people misspell even Bree wrong,
Yes, they do.
they
All the
misspell
time.
Bree
All the all the
so
time.
hard,
So
but
hard.
so hard. But at least they say it right.
Yeah. Um, what did you think about because I thought that this was pretty interesting. How did you feel about Andy as a character? Yo
Yandy,
dogs. Andy always wore the red hat backwards. The Yo dogs called Jordan Lil G. How did you feel? Were you infuriated whenever you encountered Andy?
I wanted to fight Andy several times because I was just like, can we just let this die? Because everyone's had an Andy. And some of us still have that Andy friend that we're holding on to. That I'm telling you today, release yourself from Andy.
Release yourself from them shackles, baby. You got to let it go.
Because Andy is really trying to act like he for the people, and he's not.
I just could not deal with him and the yo dogs. It like grated every nerve in my body. Um, but for me, it was, I think my experience with Andy was I struggled a lot with him in School Trip. And I think because it was such a heavy focus on, and someone said it earlier in the chat, because there was this continuous conversation of like, you know, joking around with someone versus bullying them, and Andy not knowing the
When
difference. He didn't know the line, and like I felt so much for Ramon, because in that scene where Annie was like, "Oh, well, y'all don't really like," he was like, "I just feel like, why does everybody hate me?" And everybody's like, "Oh, we don't really hate you." And Ramon's like, "No, I do hate you." And like the amount of trauma that he inflicted. Like when I got to the panel where he was like, "I missed school for 3 weeks because you bullied me so much."
and he was trying to
That
act like, no, it's the oblivious. I'm sorry to cut you off.
No, go ahead, go ahead, go ahead.
Want, and I kind of want to say this in a way that is conscious of mixed company, but
Mhm.
I can't. So I'm just gonna say it
Okay.
because it's one of the things that pisses me off every day as a Black person living in America. The oblivious of white folks is one of the most infuriating thing. Like, how can you be that oblivious? And then when I say something, you're like, "Oh my God, I didn't know that hurt you." The oblivious of the things that they do that is racist, that is discriminatory, that is fucked up, that is bullying to a Black person, and then turn around and try to make it feel like, "Oh, I don't know. I don't know where it co—" That it would
It
make
is.
it really hard for me to read that book because that infuriates me so much. So much. Because I've experienced it, I've seen it, and I've seen how hurtful it can be to the
Mhm,
Black people experiencing it, and
mhm.
now I have to hold your hand and fucking guide you through the shadows of death for you to understand the impact of your actions, and you're
It's
just
it's
still like,
tough.
"Ugh, the
It's
fuck?"
tough.
Oh my God, it infuriates me. I may have went a little too left, but I just had to speak my truth on that.
I I had a hard time buying his character development, because I think that Kraft did such, he we carried this theme of us not really liking Andy through all three books. Um, and I feel like children are more forgiving
That
sometimes than adults can be.
man, they
And
are
so I think
resilient.
that while it makes sense for a younger reader who may not have 100% the context that we do as adults, having lived, we hold it, and so it was hard for me to read him as a character, because we've all dealt with an Andy.
Several Andys.
And so, just, and then I think I get pissed because I think about the Andys of the world, and then I fucking blame the parents who continue this vicious cycle. We, for Black people, it's easy for us to recognize, or for a lot of marginalized communities, it's easy to recognize a moment when you are first made to feel like you're other. And it's sad because, like, even me, for example, I remember my first time being, I knew I was Black, but it's the difference between knowing you're Black and someone making you aware of your Blackness in a very negative way. And I remember a little boy in second grade telling me to go back to Africa. Now, I didn't have the context to know what that meant, but I knew it was wrong.
Mhm.
And I knew that something was not right about that statement. As an adult, of course, I'm like, I should have whooped his ass.
No, straight up.
Straight
Hindsight
up, I should have beat the shit out of
is
him.
2020. I would have gotten to way more fights. I'm sorry to say
I
it.
would have
But if
too. I would
I
have too.
if my frontal cortex was out here running, doing the work,
Yeah.
if my amygdala wasn't so traumatized, I would have been fighting more.
Fighting more. Yeah.
I would have been fighting because what?
And you feel bad for like those younger versions of yourself that experience those things, and then it makes you very aware of how you're different from everyone else, you
Oh
know?
my
And
god,
so I there's a lot that I dealt with, you know, going to private, predominantly white Christian schools.
man,
There
see,
was religious things there that
oh
have kind of fucked me up. And
my
then,
gosh,
you know, there was a lot of race related things that were happening, you know, just coming to terms with a lot of that stuff. It was I feel for the younger version of me not being able to defend myself because I didn't. I mean, I knew, don't get me wrong, I knew, but it's what you know as an adult compared to what I knew as like a 10 or 11-year-old. So for me, because of how many Andys I've dealt with in my life, it was hard for me to forgive what Andy was doing, especially when it was in
you give
relationship to
giving this
Ramon, because when Ramon literally had to break that down, like even as someone who is plus size, hearing Ramon say that he couldn't even fucking eat dessert in front of Andy because he was just so scared of getting bullied, that was like I not only are we attacking this kid because he's Latin, but also because he's plus size. Like you just
exactly.
and he is of a lower socioeconomic status.
Yeah,
I just can't like
mm,
there's no forgiveness because your parents have continued that cycle, and you're gonna, you know, we may have a moment where it looks like you've grown, but you're still going back to the same household and your
it wasn't
parents are still the
enough for
same.
me. It wasn't enough for me, and it's like I also feel like we also need to give our younger selves some grace
Yeah.
because a lot of times when you go into a PWI, you really got to pick and choose your battles because man, you will die of exhaustion. I remember one dude who I had a crush on, and I got up the guts to tell him because we were really good friends. So I thought naturally, like we could be in a relationship.
Mhm.
And he was like, you know what, Bree, I don't date black women unless they look like Beyonce. And I just remember
It's
being so fucking shocked. Like, Beyonce is a beautiful woman, but so am I. It's giving beauty. I guess I'm confused. Like,
I
my
don't even have the words.
I don't have the word. I mean, I won't lie. At the time, my self-esteem
I
was,
know, but that would hurt anybody. Like,
but now a bitch can't crusty. I still look good. You can't
you
tell
can't
me
tell me no.
nothing.
Yeah,
You
but
can't tell me.
but especially as Black women, I hate how much of a process that we have to go through of being torn down till we have to build ourselves back up to be at a point where we're just like, well, I just don't give a fuck. What, you know what I'm saying? Like,
No, straight up.
it shouldn't be that way, but for a lot of Black women, femmes, like that's that's
That's
our lived
reality.
reality, and
That's
it's
reality.
unfortunate.
Yeah. And that's why I was telling somebody the other day, like where I live in a very white Midwestern town.
Hmm.
And don't get me wrong, white folks is telling me I'm pretty all the time. I'm beautiful. They're like, oh my God, you're stunning. Yeah, I hear you. But when a black woman tell me this, I
It hits
feel
different.
like I won the motherfucking lottery.
It hits
Okay.
different.
It hits different
It
when
hits
my
different.
sister tells me
Hmm.
I'm doing a thing. You understand?
Yeah.
Because really what I think it is, oh, you see this tall, dark-skinned woman and you're like, oh my God, because she takes up space. She's so pretty. I mean, I could be pretty to them too, but it just don't hit
They don't hit the same
like
way.
a black woman telling
Hmm.
me, even a black man, sir, bye. Well, who invited you? Okay.
Listen about them.
Who invited you to the party?
Nobody. Nobody.
No. But when a black woman,
Yeah, it's different. It's a
woman,
different ballgame. Mm. Um, I thought another interesting thing that he did in this series was a relationship between Drew,
I was,
um, you know me and you, we don't do names.
yeah, Drew and
Drew, Mari, and Jordan.
oh my God, Jordan. The scene between them talking to Jordan about like, sir, when Jordan was like, y'all came at me, I came at y'all. They took a little space and they came back. With I'm talking about the rich boy, the rich white
Yeah,
boy.
yeah.
I actually thought that was really reflective of the
Hmm.
time. And I also thought like there is something about having community. Community, people sleep on it. Community is so important.
Hmm.
And when I forget the main character name, but when Drew was like, "Man, I don't know if he's gonna go to another school. I can't be here by myself."
Well, yeah, when Jordan was gonna,
When
there was a possibility for him to
yeah,
go to the art school. Yeah,
when he stayed, I said, "Look at that,
yeah.
that." But look at that.
But it is the community aspect is very important, and I love that Craft touched on without explicitly stating that the Black community, once again, as we always say, we're not a monolith, and so our experiences are very different. And so I loved how in the first book we see these assumptions that are being made about Mari, because when Jordan gets to the school, he's kind of like, oh, it's another Black guy. And then it's just like, wait. But are you really another, you know what I'm saying? And then him and Drew, they kind of hold off on talking to each other for a little moment. And then I like that he kind of brought it full circle in School Trip when Drew is like, I'm sorry to Mari because we've been in school for years together. And I've always had these preconceived notions of you. And he's like, do you consider yourself Black? And Mari's like, what else would I be? But he's like, I think that he was representing the different experiences that Black people have.
Oh my God, it's a survival
It,
thing. You
it
have
is.
to survive.
It was interesting how he was like, he finally tapped into Mari saying, like, I know that I'm Black, but when I'm amongst Black people, I'm not Black enough.
Oh
And
yeah.
then when I'm amongst white people, all I am is Black.
Oh
And
yeah.
so Drew and Jordan had to see that from a different space. Because I think Drew and Jordan got to see, with Jordan being a lighter complexion and Drew being a darker complexion.
Yeah.
That's a whole situation. And
Oh,
then,
Jordan wasn't white?
huh?
I thought Jordan was white. I'm going to
The
hell.
main character?
No, the guy, he went to the school. I mean, okay, let me describe the character. He lived in this real nice house, and the
You talking about
parents were like,
him?
"What's going on?" Yeah, he
No.
not white.
No, he is white, but his name is Liam.
Liam, there we go. I was
Yeah,
talking
that's
about
Jordan
Liam.
Liam
I said
Drew.
the wrong names. My bad. My
Yeah,
bad.
yeah,
I
yeah,
was
yeah,
like,
yeah,
oh
yeah.
my God. I'm over
No,
here
no, no.
thinking
Liam is white.
I've been calling Liam a white boy all this time. That's crazy. But
Yeah,
anyway,
no, yeah, Liam is, yeah. But no, with Mari, I think that it was good for, because Drew and Jordan had to come to terms with, complexion playing a role in the Black
come on.
experience.
Come on.
And then he
Colorism is
brought it in
real.
again with Mari growing up in a very privileged aspect, being Black and having money and being in a different socioeconomic status, going to predominantly white schools. There's also this perception of those Black people not really feeling like they're not Black. And Mari's like, no, 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 no. I am in fact Black, but it doesn't matter where I'm at, because in every circle, I'm just not good enough as me. And as someone who has experienced that, and that often comes with wealth or intelligence,
Mm-hmm.
it becomes I feel like it's an issue in the Black community. Like, I don't like when, I mean, granted, let's be for real. Everybody ain't kinfolk.
Come on. They out here
Everybody is
skin poking.
everybody is not kinfolk,
They
but I
skin
don't I
poking.
don't think that what I didn't like growing up is that those of us who are forced into situations where we're constantly made to code switch, um, are seen as those who are, you're an Oreo, you're white. And it's like, that's not always the case. Those are not Black people who perceive themselves to be white. A lot of times that what you see is instinctual survival, like you're surviving. because that's the environment that you're in.
You got to
You
survive.
have to survive. Yeah. Yeah.
That's really, that's where it ends. Like, for example, when I was in school, this is very embarrassing, but when I was in college, I had a white male friend who's gay who would DJ, and he would play every time there was like a some type of dance, and
Mhm.
I would come in, he would see me, and he would be like, "Oh my god, Bree with the big booty is here" on the mic, and then like play a song that has to do with booty shaking fast. And I used to, like, at the time, I was like, let me just go ahead and shake this ass. But, you know,
Mhm.
because I literally, that's all that age Bree felt like she had to do. This age Bree would have grabbed the mic, grabbed his neck, and fucked him up.
And fuck
But
them up.
that Bree was trying to survive, right?
Yeah.
So now that I'm like, now that we're older, and like recently, a couple years ago, he tried to start that shit again, and he hit my butt, and I thought God was about to take me to prison because the way I reacted, he's like, "Oh my god, you never reacted like this before."
Times change.
It goes back to the oblivious
Yeah.
shit that pisses me off. So it's just like you don't know. It's just different. It's, how do I describe it? There's also like an age thing, because I feel like 30 plus year old Bree is way more settled, I should say, in who I am than 20-year-old Bree, 19-year-old Bree. You know, I'm just trying to figure out who I am and who I want to be friends with. But I wish a motherfucker would now as
Yeah.
30-plus-year-old Bree. And it's really that survival thing that
It is survival.
comes into play.
Yeah. A lot of that is survival. Survival. And it's
Yeah.
unfortunate because it creates a perception that you have of yourself. You know what I'm saying? You don't, like Maury, you feel like you walk into black spaces and you don't feel as if you're black enough. It doesn't mean that you're not down for your people. It's just that you have to think about systemic racism creeps its way into everything. Like Jessica,
Oh, everything.
I just saw you say like you talk good. For
Yeah,
me, there's no such thing as talking good.
I thought that too.
What we have been taught is that speaking in a way in which colonizers deem appropriate um, is considered you speak appropriate and proper English. There's no such thing because even Americans do not speak correct English.
They don't speak the Queen's English.
They don't speak the Queen's English. And so, with that being said, it's something that we've been conditioned to believe that if you speak anything other than this, this code switching, you're ghetto. And on the opposite end, if you speak in your code switching, you're white. And that's an internal issue that we have, I think, as a black community, because we've been conditioned to believe that there's one appropriate way to speak and the other way is not appropriate. And that if you speak that way, you're not intelligent, you're never going anywhere. There's so many labels that are
Yeah,
associated
so many
with,
labels.
and then it loops back around to why I have so much issue with BookTube and AAVE, because it's like,
Oh
bitch, you
my
have
god.
no idea.
And we're here for 2 more hours on this discussion.
We
But
would be here for 2 more hours.
2 more hours. And the thing that like really bothers me is I wish that as citizens of the world, fuck the US, as citizens of the world, I wish we were more compassionate to different ways of speaking, different ways of enunciating, different ways of communicating. Because one of the things that bothers me to my core as an adult and as I'm living now is that the accent I'm giving you is not how I actually fucking speak. The people who know how I actually speak is my family in New Orleans. The
Mhm.
way I had to strip myself of my accent to be more palatable to white folks because I was getting bullied hard after Katrina. Like, how you experience Katrina, then
And
they
then get
bully
bullied.
the shit out of you
Yeah.
because you were victim of a fucking flood. Like, it just didn't make any sense. I'm telling y'all, when I started my master's program, a white girl told me, you know what, Bree, I don't know if if you're ever going to get any jobs if you keep speeding so antiquated the way that you do. And that's when I should have dragged that hoe. But I didn't because I was one of 2 black girls in a room of 30 people. Out of my 30 cohort of classmates, it was me and the other girl, and her name was what, Bree? Okay, they accepted 2 Brees who were black.
Scarlett be ready to drag the hell out of folks.
And I'm just like,
not you just said just out of curiosity.
Ask for a friend.
But it does. It's interesting to see. Not even in language, even in dress. And I know we're steering a little bit away, but I think it does tie into the books. No shade to anybody who's watching this on playback and you white, but I wish I would have never discovered forces.
For what?
Air Force Ones.
Oh,
all
yeah.
white. I wish you would have never.
Yeah,
It goes
and that's
back-
also different in language in different black communities. That has a different name. Like in New
Yes.
Orleans, we call them G Nikes. But go ahead.
Yeah, so we call them forces.
Mm-hmm.
And so you have to understand at some point that it's so offensive, and people, oh, you're gatekeeping. And it's like it's always gatekeeping when we complain, but everybody else can have whatever they want. But when we talk, you're gatekeeping. Why can't you just share? I'm like, because we could never have anything. And it's not just about gatekeeping and we can't have anything. It's what we get labeled as when we do it. That's
what
the
other
problem.
people profit of because we don't gatekeep. I don't care what nobody said. You can unscribe to me. You can never speak to me again. But Winnie already knows. Winnie be laughing, but I'm about to tell you right here. I am 100%, not 99, 80, 100% behind gatekeeping. Gatekeep everything. Yeah. That is what 100. If we could be 1,000%, I am 1,000% behind it because everybody can gatekeep, but when the Negroes do, it's an issue. What? Clink, clink. Shut it down.
It just is wild to me. Like I literally went to work, and one of the top people there had on forces, and I literally looked. I said, "Girl, what you doing with forces?" I said, "You know how to wear them." I said, "You already got creases in them. What you doing?" I said, "You already got creases on the top."
I'm that person. You don't know where them things.
No, I said, what? You got forces on? I said, you got creases at the top of the forces. Like, and listen, I took my daughter out to breakfast. It's a mommy daughter breakfasting thing, and we were sitting at the table. She was sitting beside me, and one of the hostesses had on these dirty, nasty ass. I took a picture and put it on Twitter. Took a picture and put it on Twitter.
Dirty pair of G Nikes makes my ass itch.
It's disgusting.
I cannot. It makes my ass itch. Like I cannot get behind it. Like, what is that? Like, even I don't wear tennis shoes, right? But I know it's not supposed to be the real crease. But I kind of don't know how to walk in them. And my nephew goes, T. Bree, you're not gonna embarrass me in public.
Creases. You got creases in them.
Like, and he was fixing. He was like, T. Bree, we're not doing this. I said, not you calling me out in private, but I appreciate you, kid.
Listen, dirty,
grungy,
shoelaces dirty, creases in them. I said, you know what? This is why Black people are pro gatekeeping, because when we wore forces back in the day.
Oh, you had to take the strings out. You had to wash them in the baking soda with the Dawn soap.
They got cleaned every morning before you stepped out and went to school.
You could not go to school. And don't everybody spill some G Nikes.
So
you about to piss me off.
I just feel like I say all of that to say is that, you know, when we were wearing forces, it was, oh, you're hood, you're ghetto, you're a thug. white people wear Air Force Ones. It's the new thing. Oh, it's
a new thing.
cute. It's like so I tell people like I understand that there's gonna be cultural exchanges. I really don't feel like everything should be exchanged. Because we literally can't have any like we literally had to start over. We had
Every
no
time
culture as a people. We had to start over. And you
we
can't
start,
even just let us have that.
we are
So
continuously starting over.
so my thing about it is that people don't recognize that history that comes behind it, that the things that people have gone through just to be themselves,
Yeah.
just to show up in their blackness and feel comfortable. And so you get criticized, you get ostracized, you get, you're labeled, you're looked at less than human. You're
Hmm.
subhuman at that point. But as soon as other people pick it up, it's cute, it's retro, and it's like, so why was it not cute when we were doing it?
It's cool when I do it. Y'all know the lyrics. Y'all got me. But my situation is, I don't know. It's man, you don't hit a nerve with that one. Like Scarlett, I even owned a pair of Shacks. I ain't gonna lie. But them had to be clean. Couldn't be going to school with no dirty Shacks. And I had K Swiss. I ain't gonna lie. I loved my K Swiss. And you couldn't go to school with them dirty either.
Listen, why Aaron got that song in my head now?
Big boy.
Big
Boy.
big boy, big boy.
Give
So I can get
me
this stepping in
two.
my. I need to pay so I can get the stumping in my Air Force Ones, big boy, in my Air Force Ones. I
Okay.
like that all white. All right, I'm done. I'm done because I'm about to spit the verse. I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna do that. I'm done. I'm done.
And Nelly was for the people. Nelly was for the people. He kept us going. And now he's keeping
Oh,
us going. Amen.
okay. Is there anything that you did not like about the series?
No, I didn't. I mean, there was characters I didn't like, but I didn't like them because they were meant to be unlikable.
Yeah, Ashley. I'm so pissed her name was Ashley. Y'all, like Ashley was a problem
Ashley
whenever
said, "I'm gonna get this Black King."
girl. I'm a girl. Never mind. I cannot go into it. No, I'm not gonna do that here. I'm not gonna do that right now, and I'm not gonna do it here. But I have a lot of thoughts and feelings,
Woo,
and
Ashley said, "I'm gonna get this
that
Black King."
I know that Jerry Craft knew exactly what he was doing when some of us, especially us Black women, when we were gonna be reading that, I think he knew what he was doing, and so I already had felt some type of way about Ashley because she wanted her Black King boo, and I said, "Child, all right," but in school trip, Ashley was a pain in the like she was the epitome of a Karen. But her name was Ashley.
A T.
To a T, like when she told what was her name? Is her name Amira? I feel like that was her name. Oh, I touched your hair while you were sleeping. I said, what the
It was the fact that she kept touching that man's hair after he kept telling her all
her
night.
not to. And then she went and she touched Amira's hair while she was sleeping. I'm like, did you not get any of this when Drew told you stop touching my hair? And then you went and you touched Amira's hair while she was sleeping, and you just felt like
Again, let's roll back the tape to the oblivious shit that pisses me off. More recently, because y'all thinking this, I know y'all know in the comments. More recently, 2 weeks ago, I went out with Winnie the Bishop. We all know who Winnie the Bishop is. I go out with the Bishop. We walk in a single file line to go into this bar. It is all of us are brown. We Black and Native. We're going in. These girls, white girls, drunk, bachelorette party,
be
decides
the
to
worst.
come up to us. Y'all know where this is fucking going. Sorry, cursing.
I'm sorry, but they be the worst when they drunk.
Oh my God. So they start doing this. Let's pretend this is everybody's butt cheek. Every Black person that came, they were slapping that butt. And Winnie looked like, and she when I tell you what I did, she was like, "Man, I knew you were gonna go off." So I saw the hand coming. I said, "Bitch, do not touch me." She, oh, I didn't know. I said, "You did know." Everybody's face looked uncomfortable. You did know. Absolutely, you knew. Do not touch. Are you for real?
Oh, I can't. I can't. That was college. That was college for me. There
Oh
have
my
been plenty of nights
God.
of cuss outs dealing with dumb shit like that.
It's the
Like
oblivion.
you don't.
You
Mm-mm.
see, people even winching. Because they ain't gonna be as vocal as I was in that situation. So they're like, you hitting black men, black women, native men. You're just, and literally, we were not bothering anybody. We were just coming into the bar, and they saw us, and they were ready to roll. What?
That's disgusting. That's disgusting. But just refuse to acknowledge that that's a problem. Why would you do that? Why would you do that? Why
Again,
why in the hell would you even do something like that?
and bringing us back to Andy and his foolishness. Okay.
Ashley, look, well, like Kathleen said,
Ash.
Ashley in her sociopathic Ashley was weird. And I was like, of all people, why was her name Ashley? Ashley, and then the way she treated girl Alex was like horrible.
Horrible.
Horrible. She
Horrible.
was awful to her starting in class act
Yep.
and just took it to a new level in school trip.
Yeah.
I said, you do not have to treat that girl like that.
Yep.
That's ridiculous.
All three of these graphic novels, I know they are graphic novels, but they are rooted in nonfiction themes. Like
They are.
this is real life. Like people experience these things real life. And there were so many times I wanted to cry because I'm like, damn, these babies got to deal with this shit.
All the time.
These babies got to deal with this shit.
All the time.
Shouldn't hear the stuff my godson tells me. And he's 11. And I be trying my best to be an adult and be like, let's talk it out. But in my mind, I'm like, I'm gonna have to whoop an 11-year-old. Like,
You would have walked in. Oh, how old are you? You 11? I'm finna be 11 today too.
I'm still mad. And I know my niece, she's over it. She's like, TD, you bring it up. Like, I am mad that when she was 6, she was in school. But was she 6 or 7? She was 6 or 7, went to school. This white boy punched her in the stomach and said, "You black bitch, I'm gonna get my dad's gun and I'm gonna come to school and shoot you."
I would have beat his ass.
I'm
I would
still
have went to
ready to
jail.
fight him. I don't even
Yeah,
know
I would
what
have
the
went
boy
to jail.
looked like, and
Yeah,
I'm
bro.
still ready to show up. And
You making me real nervous. You may need to start saving up some bail money as your niece gets older. I just want
because
you to know that.
no, listen, my niece is gonna be tall and dark skinned like her auntie Bree. And
Yes.
I am ready for the shits. You got to know that. Because my little sister be scared. She'd be like, Bree, please don't. Because I'm usually not, you know me, I be chilling. You come at the little ones in my life. I forgot all common sense. I forgot that I'm even a therapist and I should think about the trauma you may have experienced of why you did X, Y, and Z. At
I ain't
this
worried
point,
about all of
I
that.
don't give about your
I
trauma.
ain't worried about all of that.
Fight.
I don't care what you've been through at that point.
Okay? It's on site.
Yeah, I'm finna be hell. As she gets older, I'm finna be hell. I already know it. I'm finna be hell because she's going to experience things that even I did not experience. And it's already starting with, oh my gosh, she's so big. Like she doesn't look like she's 3. It's already
Yep, they
the
did that to
aging
me.
her. They're aging her out of being a 3-year-old.
Be careful of men. They did that shit to me. Predators, grooming.
Let me
They
tell you.
groom tall,
Let me
dark
tell you.
skinned
Let me tell you.
girls.
You think I'm playing? You think I'm playing?
Fast.
You think I'm playing?
No, I don't. I know
No,
you.
no, save that bail money up because I'm telling you, it's gonna be some moments where it's gonna be touch and go for a little while. Because it's our, I posted a picture of her on Facebook. And someone's like, oh my God, she looks like a teenager. She's 3. She's 3.
You shouldn't have told me that. So now I'm in the comments. You shouldn't have told me that.
She's 3 years old.
Wow. She's a child.
She's a whole
Precious.
child.
She's a precious child. Let me tell you, my niece is smart. I know I'm biased. I know it, but my niece is smart. That's all I'm gonna say. And she has critical thinking. If a 3-year-old have critical thinking, it's a shame for some of you. I'm just
For y'all not to have the same skill set.
it's a problem.
Yeah.
You grown living in your mama's house. I'm just kidding. I would live in my mama's house if I could. I swear I would. And I'll
Listen,
be.
save money.
I would.
Save a lot of money. Me and my mom would probably kill each other first, though.
Man, it'd
So
be like
there's that.
that. When you
There's that.
turn into your own person, it is hard to revert to child for your parent because they start seeing you as a child because you know they had to lift your leg up, wipe your butt, and all of that. So
I get that because I'm still, I'm in the phase where it's like, ooh, that's a big poop. And I'm like, I can't wait till you get older when you decide that you want to clap back. I mean, you remember when I used to wipe your ass when you used to be like, ooh, mommy, it's a big poop. I made a big poopy. You remember that?
the thing that kills me is when she goes, "Mommy, can you wipe me?" She's already given up. I'm not doing this
She
shit.
don't even try. Listen, let me tell you. When she go pee pee, she'll be like, I wiped and flushed the toilet, right? As soon as she get down there and she drop a couple of turds, I'm done. I'm like, okay. And you can wipe me. I'm like, "Oh." And then she'll stand there like when she get off the toilet.
It's
She'll
the
turn around and look.
conviction.
She counts the poops. I made 1, 2, 3 poopies. And
Yeah.
then she'll talk to the poop as it goes on the toilet bowl. Bye, poopies.
Listen, that's
And
that
be
only child.
stank.
That's
And
the
be
only child.
stank. Boy, I said, I'm like, but you 3 years old. Why does your shit smell like that?
Be like that. A grown man came out of their body.
And she goes shit because my bathroom's in my room.
Yeah. She
She
goes
goes
to
and
your bathroom
shit.
to do it.
She will hold her shit. We're downstairs, right? And I'd be like, all right, it's time to go upstairs. She refuses to shit downstairs. I'd be like, you have to go potty? Mm-mm. She literally will get upstairs and be like, I have to poop. 30 seconds later, I said, you just like shit in my bathroom. But when she shit in my bathroom, my whole room smells like shit.
She don't care. This is a
She don't care. And then she walk out. Okay, I'm done. Like,
place.
but my room smell like shit.
Listen, my sister, I hope she's not watching this live because she is watching my channel more. My sister Shonda, she is watching my channel. She'll text me about like that was really funny. You know, she watched my channel now. But Shonda, I'm gonna be honest to you. When we were in New Orleans hanging out and I had diarrhea, you pissed me off that one day, and that's why I came and shitted in your bathroom while you were sitting there on the. You were like, "Bree, flush the courtesy flush." I had diarrhea and I didn't care. I was letting it go, and her bathroom didn't have a door. It was just an open concept bathroom connected to the room. And I sat right on in and I lied and told her my niece was in the other bathroom, and that was a lie because I said, if you don't let me sleep, I don't let you rest. So I went in there and dumped that bomb on her. So I'm sorry. I'm sorry to that man. But I had to do what I had to do because she wouldn't let me rest.
I am, and on that note, we can end right there. No, but for real, for real.
Thing.
But for real. Great series, y'all.
It was good. What are we reading next? Tell the people.
What are we reading next?
All right, I'll tell the people.
Hold on, because I gotta pull up the spreadsheet.
No, I have it right here. Literally, I have it up. Yeah. She said,
is it Harrow County? Is it the one that you picked?
It could be. Not me can't find. Hold on. 2023. If I just type that in, it will pull it up.
Watch the chat go get it before you. You know the chat always tell us what we're reading next.
I know. I think I deleted it.
Hold on.
That's crazy. That's crazy. How did I delete a document?
I don't think you deleted it. I'm about to try to pull it up.
Why can't I find it? Let me type in realm. Oh, I found it. Well, I did not.
You did not find it?
You know, we live, we learn, we joke, get joke. Because we made a separate sheet. What I have is from last year. Dang. Well, folks, I actually don't know.
Oh, Brie, I think you deleted it for real.
Oh no, I found it. Oh,
Oh, you found it? Oh, because
yes.
I don't see it.
Um,
Okay.
we're reading Harrow Country
Okay. Hero Country.
and it's a dark horse publication, which is one of my faves. Cullen
Mhm.
Bunn and Tyler Hook. We're reading the Omnibus Volume 1. Now, where
Okay.
can we find that omnibus? Je ne sais pas. But
Hoopla.
Hoopla?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Oh, you guys, who read Harrow? You already read Harrow?
No, they just know.
Oh, the thing is, I can't remember. You know, I'm in a transitional period that's making me slightly more depressed, and just got
On
a lot of
Google.
things I'm doing, so I can't always remember. So I appreciate um y'all staying on top.
Um, yeah, because I think that somebody, when I posted the video, wherever that video may be, no, okay, I understand that. Why does it always go to that big behind view?
What?
Okay, so June is Harrow County Omnibus one by Tyler Cook. Um, I'm trying to think about whether we should just double up and do Harrow County and the Delicacy because we were so late with this one.
Hold on, let me grab my phone as we discuss this as a group with the people. Oh no! Also, I can't do the first week of July because I will be in Savannah for the
No, so
grand.
you're gonna be right down the street from me. Is
Wait,
what you're
yeah.
saying?
You trying to come pop that? Low, shake that.
No,
You can't. No,
not
no.
with my child.
Hey, bring the baby. The elder's gonna love her.
Can you do the second week of July? Or how about we don't do it that way? How about we don't because it's going to be too quick? Why wouldn't we just do Harrow County and the Delicacy together and not do the live show until August? Does that make
Or
sense?
manageable. Yeah, I'm trying to
It's more
see.
manageable to do it that way. Yeah, I think what we will do, Bree, if that makes sense to you, um, that we will just do both Harrow County and the Delicacy, and we will do the live show for those at the beginning of August.
Was that my pick, Carroll County?
It is.
I'm glad that you be remembering who's this who pick because I'm
Well,
gonna tell
because you
you.
picked stuff that I've never heard of.
Oh, that's probably why you remember because I don't
Yeah,
remember
because you
what I
picked a lot,
chose.
all this stuff that you picked, like I had never heard of before.
Yeah.
Um,
I also am finding that I like to stick to the publishing houses that I like.
okay.
No
Which makes
shade to
sense.
DC or Marvel. No shade.
Child, all shade to DC and Marvel. They make it damn impossible to keep up.
I do.
Um, be dodging. It's fine. All right, y'all. So we'll do it that way. We're not gonna have a live show because we ended up doing this one so late. We won't have a live show in July, but we will be reading both Harrow County and the Delicacy at the same time. And do the live show for those two in August. That way we stay on track for the rest of the year.
Okay. Is there shoot. I can't find the delicacy. Could you help me find it after?
Hold on, let me see right now.
Okay.
Let me look.
I don't know if it's my internet that's
Make sure it's still on Hoopla.
I think my internet is really the issue here. My internet be acting like I don't pay $70 a month.
Why do you pay that much?
That's what. That's what they wait. You got a lower tip
Yeah, I pay 20 a month for internet,
through who?
Spectrum, but it's where I'm at.
$70 I pay.
Yeah, I'll pay 20.
Well, apparently my Hoopla isn't working, but my
That's
phone
not,
isn't working. So my phone has really decided.
no, it's not you. Hoopla's down.
Oh, Hoopla's down.
Mhm.
And I was like, it decided I'm gonna head out.
Yeah, it's not working. It's not working.
Oh my
It's not
God!
working for
Please
me.
share. I want to get rid of what I have because this $70 for internet and it doesn't even work. It goes in and out all the damn time.
Oh yeah, bot is. I mean, now when they do service days, it is quite frustrating. Um,
Oh, Libby, thank you, Jessica.
hold on, I'm about to tell you. I saw your question, Kathleen.
I think
Um,
I should see if T-Mobile would, not T-Mobile, Verizon, do they have home internet?
they should. Okay, so Kathleen, I'm seeing that it has the first omnibus is issues 1 through 16. So I'm guessing that it may be the first 3 volumes, but let me double check. Let me see here. So I'm still only finding that's omnibus. It's got to be at least. It's got to be the first 3 or 4, I think. Let me look again here. I don't know why they make this so difficult. It's just telling me the 1, 2.
Oh, you have 4 different. We have one, CenturyLink.
Why is this not telling me anything?
CenturyLink and all that shit.
This is definitely still not telling me anything. Hold on. Carroll County Volume 1 issues. Oh. It's only 32 issues. Okay, hold on. Harrow County's only 32 issues. That's why it's only 2 omnis. Let me see how many volumes it is first. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm trying to see how many volumes is in the series. That way I can give you a better idea. See full series. Volume 1, Volume 2, Volume 3, Volume 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It is going to be the first 4 volumes, Kathleen, because it seems to be 8 trades and there's only 2 omnis. It's a 32 issue series, so every volume must be 4 issues. It is. Every volume is 4 issues. So if you read it as individual volumes instead of the omni, it'll be volumes 1 through 4. Yes, you are in fact correct. Yeah, so if you only have access to the volumes, it's volumes 1 through 4. If you're reading the omni, it's volume 1 of the omni, and if you're reading it issue by issue, it's issues 1 through 16. Oh wow, Facebook and IG are down as well. It's the aliens.
Man, come get us because it's getting real ghetto here in Earth, and I've had enough. But yeah, um, I'm down.
Okay. All right, y'all. So that's what we'll end up doing. There are 2 no, don't read. No, don't read. Yeah, there's 2 volume ones, but the one that you need to read is Harrow County Volume 1, Countless Haints. You're not looking at the other volume one, which is the Death Squire. That's a spinoff. So you're going to be looking at Harrow County, Countless Haints is the one that you should be reading for our discussion. All right. Is everybody good? Yes? Okay. All right. We will share this information again, but we won't be meeting with y'all until August. So enjoy your July. Enjoy the rest of your summer. And we will see y'all again soon. Bye.
Oh.
Not the